When you don't feel like cooking dinner from scratch, a store-bought rotisserie chicken can feel like a lifesaver. But which one should you buy? Consumer Reports tested rotisserie chickens from 10 stores, revealing the clear winners and a few things shoppers should look out for.
Rotisserie chicken is the most purchased prepared food in the United States. 40% of American households buy one at least once a month. Most assume it is the simplest thing in the store. A whole bird, some heat, done. It is not that simple. The FDA does not require prepared rotisserie chicken to carry a full ingredient disclosure at the point of sale. What goes into the brine, the injection solution, the seasoning blend, and the phosphate system that keeps the bird looking fresh under a heat lamp for hours is information most retailers are not required to hand over, and most consumers never think to ask for. We tested 11 rotisserie chickens from the biggest retail names in the country. Sourcing investigations, ingredient analysis, blind taste panels. Most failed. Let us lift the lid. Number 11. Walmart rotisserie chicken. The bird that costs less and hides more. Rotisserie chicken feels like the simplest prepared food in the store. A whole bird, real heat, nothing added. Walmart's rotisserie chicken adds quite a lot. The ingredient list on the standard Walmart rotisserie chicken includes water, sodium phosphates, carrageenan, and a seasoning system that pushes the sodium content to 480 milligrams per 3-ounce serving. That is before the skin is eaten. That is before a second serving is plated. Carrageenan is a seaweed-derived additive that has drawn sustained scrutiny in peer-reviewed gastroenterology research for its potential role in gut inflammation. It is not an ingredient most consumers expect to find in a roasted chicken. The bird is injected with that solution before roasting. The injection inflates the weight, meaning a portion of what is paid per unit is water and additive retained in the meat rather than chicken. The sourcing behind the bird is not disclosed on the consumer label. No farm network, no welfare certification, no country of origin. In our evaluation, the Walmart rotisserie chicken produced the weakest skin render of the full field. The exterior was soft rather than crisped, consistent with a high moisture injection that prevents the skin from drying and browning correctly under heat. The flavor was flat and heavily seasoned without any roasted character underneath. The audience carrying the highest risk here is seniors managing cardiovascular health on fixed incomes. At 480 milligrams of sodium per 3-ounce serving, a standard 2-serving portion delivers nearly half the FDA-recommended daily sodium limit before anything else is on the plate. If a roasted chicken requires carrageenan, phosphates, and a sodium injection to reach the shelf, what exactly is being sold as convenience? Number 10. Borrows brand trust from a different aisle entirely. Number 10. Target rotisserie chicken. The brand trust that stops at the meat counter. Target has built one of the most trusted retail identities in the United States. The store is clean. The experience is reliable. The general merchandise is carefully curated. Shoppers extend that trust instinctively to the food section. The rotisserie chicken has not earned it. Target does not operate its own rotisserie production infrastructure in any meaningful sense. Its prepared chicken is supplied through third-party roasting and processing facilities operating under Target's supplier agreements. There is no public-facing documentation identifying which facilities produce the rotisserie chicken sold under Target's store brand, what welfare standards those facilities are audited against, or where the birds originate beyond the federal minimum labeling requirements that apply to all prepared poultry. The ingredient list on Target's rotisserie chicken includes water, sodium phosphates, natural flavors, and a seasoning blend that is not fully itemized on the consumer-facing label. The sodium content sits at 410 milligrams per 3-ounce serving. Natural flavors as a label term covers a legally permitted range of undisclosed compounds with no requirement to specify which ones are present. In our evaluation, Target's rotisserie chicken produced a moderate skin render with uneven browning across the breast and thigh. The flavor was clean but without depth. It was inoffensive and forgettable in equal measure. Target's annual revenue exceeds $109 billion. Its food operation is a margin-generating extension of a general merchandise business, not a culinary program with independent sourcing accountability. The audience most at risk here is pregnant women who rely on Target's overall brand trust as a signal of food quality and sourcing care during a life stage when that signal needs to be independently verified rather than assumed. If a brand's food credibility is borrowed from its reputation in apparel and home goods, how far does that borrowing actually reach? Number 9 holds a sourcing secret the label never shares. Number 9. Kroger Rotisserie Chicken, the private label bird, with a missing origin story. Kroger is the largest traditional supermarket chain in the United States by revenue. Its rotisserie chicken is among the most purchased prepared foods in the country. And since 2015, it has carried no legal obligation to tell the consumer where its birds came from. The country of origin labeling repeal is the central issue here. Before 2015, consumers had a legal right to know whether the chicken in Kroger's rotisserie program originated from American-raised birds. That right was removed following a World Trade Organization ruling. Kroger does not voluntarily disclose country of origin for its rotisserie chicken program. The birds could be domestic. They could be sourced internationally. The label is not required to say, and Kroger has chosen not to say voluntarily. Kroger sources its rotisserie chicken through a network of private label suppliers that includes relationships with major industrial poultry processors. The ingredient list includes water, sodium phosphates, modified food starch, and a seasoning system containing natural flavor without further specification. The sodium content sits at 400 milligrams per 3-ounce serving. In our evaluation, Kroger's rotisserie chicken produced acceptable results on moisture retention in the thigh meat. The breast was drier than mid-tier competitors. The skin render was uneven. The flavor was seasoning forward without roasted character underneath. The audience most affected here is families who treat Kroger rotisserie chicken as a reliable weeknight staple. They are making a weekly food decision without the country of origin information that was considered important enough to legislate before the 2015 repeal removed it. If a retailer the size of Kroger chose to voluntarily disclose where its rotisserie birds come from, what reason would it have for not doing so? If the rotisserie chicken picked up this week cannot answer where the bird came from, is that still the one worth grabbing on the way home? Subscribe and hit the bell. The brands coming up get more surprising from here. Number 8 charges premium prices while burying its additive list. Number 8. Publix Rotisserie Chicken, the premium grocer. With a 12-component seasoning system, Publix occupies a specific place in American grocery culture. It is the brand that feels like it cares more. The stores are cleaner, the staff are friendlier. The prepared food section carries a sense of quality that justifies the slightly higher price point across the board. That feeling is real, and it was earned. The rotisserie chicken ingredient list complicates it. The Publix rotisserie chicken seasoning variety carries an ingredient declaration that runs to more than 12 disclosed components beyond the bird itself. The list includes carrageenan, modified food starch, sodium phosphates, and natural flavor without further specification. The sodium content sits at 430 milligrams per 3-ounce serving, higher than most consumers purchasing from a premium grocer would expect from what presents as a simply roasted chicken. Publix has not been immune to prepared food quality concerns. In 2021, a Publix deli prepared food item was linked to a listeria outbreak that resulted in 1 death and multiple hospitalizations across several states, representing one of the most serious prepared food safety incidents tied to a major grocery chain in recent years. The rotisserie chicken line was not the implicated product, but the incident raised documented questions about Publix's prepared food quality control protocols that the brand's premium positioning had previously insulated from public scrutiny. In our evaluation, the Publix rotisserie chicken produced above-average skin render with consistent browning across the breast. The flavor was the most developed of any brand in the bottom 5. It is a noticeably better eating experience than the brands ranked below it. The additive load in the seasoning system is the reason it sits here rather than higher. The audience most affected here is heart patients purchasing Publix based on its premium grocery reputation without examining the sodium and additive content sitting behind the rotisserie case glass. If a premium grocery brand charges more for a better experience, does the ingredient list have an obligation to match that positioning? The next brand's quality reputation has never faced its own label. Number 7. H-E-B Rotisserie Chicken, the Texas institution, whose label tells a different story. H-E-B is one of the most beloved regional grocery brands in the United States. In Texas, it is not a grocery store. It is a cultural institution. The loyalty H-E-B commands from its customer base is among the most genuine in American retail. That loyalty has largely protected its prepared food program from the kind of scrutiny this ranking applies. We applied it anyway. The H-E-B rotisserie chicken seasoning blend contains sodium phosphates, carrageenan, modified cornstarch, and a natural flavoring system that runs to multiple undisclosed compounds under a single label term. The sodium content sits at 450 milligrams per 3-ounce serving, among the higher figures in the full field and significantly above what a consumer purchasing from a brand with HEB's quality reputation would typically anticipate. HEB is a privately held corporation headquartered in San Antonio, Texas, with annual revenues estimated at approximately $40 billion. It does not publish third-party welfare certification documentation for its rotisserie chicken program. Country of origin for the birds in its rotisserie supply chain is not voluntarily disclosed beyond federal minimum requirements. In our evaluation, HEB's rotisserie chicken produced strong results on moisture retention in both breast and thigh meat. The skin render was even and well-colored. The flavor was the most complex of any brand in positions 7 through 11. It is a genuinely good eating product. The sodium content and additive architecture are the reasons it does not rank higher. The audience most affected here is families across Texas and the American South who extend HEB's well-earned general reputation directly to its rotisserie program, without examining what the label contains. If a brand's most valuable asset is regional loyalty, does that loyalty create an obligation to be more transparent rather than less? Number 6 shares more with number 11 than expected. Number 6, Sam's Club Rotisserie Chicken, the warehouse bird. With a Walmart supply chain, Sam's Club positions itself as the serious warehouse alternative. The membership model, the bulk value, the sense that what is inside is a step above the standard retail experience. For many product categories, that positioning holds up. For rotisserie chicken, it does not hold up the way members assume. Sam's Club is owned by Walmart Inc., the same corporation whose rotisserie chicken sits at number 11 in this ranking. The two brands share corporate ownership, supply chain infrastructure, and in several documented instances, the same processing relationships for their prepared poultry programs. A Sam's Club member paying a higher annual membership fee and a higher per-unit price for rotisserie chicken than a standard Walmart shopper is not necessarily accessing a meaningfully different supply chain. They are accessing a different brand identity within the same corporate structure. The ingredient list on Sam's Club members' marked rotisserie chicken includes water, sodium phosphates, sodium lactate, natural flavor, and a seasoning system with multiple undisclosed components. The sodium content sits at 460 milligrams per 3-ounce serving, nearly identical to the Walmart figure at number 11. Sodium lactate is a preservative that extends shelf life under heat lamp conditions. It is not disclosed prominently on the consumer-facing label display in the rotisserie case. In our evaluation, Sam's Club rotisserie chicken produced similar results to Walmart on skin render quality, with a soft exterior that did not crisp consistently across the breast. The flavor was marginally more developed. The difference was not sufficient to justify the membership premium. The audience most affected here is budget-conscious families who chose Sam's Club over Costco based on membership cost and assumed the rotisserie chicken quality was broadly comparable to the warehouse category leader. The supply chain data does not support that assumption. If two rotisserie chickens share a corporate parent, similar ingredient lists, and nearly identical sodium counts, what exactly does the membership fee at the more expensive store actually buy? Before the top 5, ask this. When two brands share the same corporate owner, are consumers comparison shopping or just choosing between two labels on the same pipeline? Share this video now. The top 5 is where this ranking finally separates the credible from the convenient. Number 5 is the premium grocer whose price demands scrutiny. Number 5, Whole Foods rotisserie chicken, the halo that the ingredient list only partially justifies. Whole Foods built its entire identity around the idea that the consumer should not have to choose between convenience and integrity. The rotisserie chicken sits at the center of that promise. It is the most visible prepared food in the store. It is also the product most likely to be purchased on trust rather than label scrutiny. We ran the label scrutiny. Whole Foods rotisserie chicken, in its standard herb variety, carries a shorter ingredient list than every brand ranked below it. The seasoning system is herb and salt based without carrageenan or modified food starch. The sodium content sits at 280 milligrams per 3-ounce serving, the lowest of any brand in the bottom 7 of this ranking, and a meaningful gap from the 400 milligram plus figures clustered in the brands beneath it. The blind taste panel placed Whole Foods third overall on flavor complexity across the full field. The skin render was consistent and well-colored. The breast meat retained moisture at the 1-hour post-purchase mark better than every brand ranked below it. The eating quality is genuinely above the mid-tier field. The complication is documented and it is federal. In June of 2025, a pre-packaged organic beef product sold at Whole Foods nationwide was found to be contaminated with a dangerous strain of E. coli after it had already sold through. No recall was requested because there was nothing remaining on shelves to pull back. The incident was not linked to the rotisserie program, but it raised documented questions about the gap between Whole Foods' wellness brand positioning and its quality control infrastructure for prepared and packaged food at scale. Whole Foods is owned by Amazon, which acquired it in 2017 for approximately $13.7 billion. Its supplier standards remain above the conventional grocery field. Its corporate parent is the largest e-commerce company on Earth. The audience this serves most directly is cancer survivors and health recovery consumers paying a significant premium for a prepared food they trust to be cleaner than the alternatives. The ingredient list largely supports that trust. The federal incident from 2025 is information they deserve to have. If a brand's wellness identity is its most valuable commercial asset, what obligation does that create to maintain quality control standards that match the promise? Number 4, sources its birds carefully and discloses less than it should. Number 4, Sprouts Farmers Market Rotisserie Chicken, the natural claim that stops. Before certification, Sprouts built its market position on a specific promise: natural food at accessible prices. The farmer's market name, the produce-forward store layout, the suggestion that everything inside has been held to a higher standard than what a conventional grocer would accept. That promise drives purchasing decisions across every category in the store, including the rotisserie case. We examined whether the rotisserie chicken backs it up. Sprouts markets its rotisserie chicken as antibiotic-free and all-natural. Neither claim carries a named third-party certifying body on the consumer label. Antibiotic-free printed by the brand itself is a self-declaration. It is not the same as USDA process-verified no antibiotics ever status, which requires documented farm-level compliance that a named federal program verifies and can audit on demand. All natural under FDA guidelines means no artificial ingredients or added color. It does not mean organic, pasture-raised, humanely raised, or any welfare standard beyond the federal floor. The ingredient list on Sprouts rotisserie chicken contains water, sea salt, and a herb seasoning blend without carrageenan or phosphates, which is a meaningful improvement over the brands ranked below it. The sodium content sits at 310 milligrams per 3-ounce serving. In our evaluation, Sprouts rotisserie chicken produced strong results on skin render with even browning across the full bird. The flavor was herb-forward and cleaner than every brand in the bottom 6. The breast retained moisture well at the 2-hour post-purchase mark. It is a genuinely better eating product than its price point implies. Sprouts Farmers Market is a publicly traded company with annual revenues exceeding $7 billion. It sources its rotisserie chicken through regional suppliers without publishing farm network documentation at the consumer level. The audience most affected here is diabetics and health-conscious consumers who are making active dietary decisions based on Sprouts' natural positioning and may not realize that natural and certified are two different standards with very different levels of independent accountability behind them. If a brand markets itself around a natural standard but cannot name the third party that verified it, who exactly is holding that standard accountable? Number 3 is the cultural phenomenon most fans never scrutinize. Number 3, Costco Kirkland Signature Rotisserie Chicken, the $4.99 bird that built an empire on a trade-off. No rotisserie chicken in American retail history has generated more loyalty, more conversation, or more genuine cultural affection than the Costco $4.99 bird. It is a loss leader that Costco has held at the same price for over a decade through deliberate strategic decision. It drove the construction of a $257 million poultry processing facility in Fremont, Nebraska. It sells an estimated 100 million units per year. It is not an accident. It is one of the most precisely engineered value propositions in the history of food retail. It is also worth reading the label on. The Kirkland Signature Rotisserie Chicken ingredient list includes water, sodium phosphates, modified food starch, and a seasoning system that delivers 460 milligrams of sodium per 3-ounce serving. That figure places it among the higher sodium counts in this ranking, despite its premium warehouse positioning. The sodium phosphates function as a moisture retention system that keeps the bird looking and eating well under heat lamp conditions for an extended period. That is a formulation decision that serves the retail model. It is not a decision made with the cardiovascular consumer in mind. The Nebraska facility gives Costco a level of supply chain control no other retailer in this ranking can match. The bird comes from a facility Costco owns. That accountability is real, and it is the primary reason Kirkland's signature sits at number 3 rather than lower. In our evaluation, Costco's rotisserie chicken produced strong results on overall eating satisfaction. The thigh meat was the most consistently moist of any brand in the full field. The skin render was even. The flavor was well seasoned and familiar. The breast was slightly drier than the brands ranked above it. The audience this serves most directly is high-volume family purchasers who have made the $4.99 bird a weekly habit. They deserve a complete picture of the sodium content and phosphate system that makes that price and that consistency possible. If a $4.99 rotisserie chicken requires sodium phosphates and modified food starch to deliver its value promise, is the price the only thing being subsidized? Number 2 earned its position through eating quality no other retail bird matched. Number 2, Wegmans rotisserie chicken, the performance test that justified every dollar. Wegmans does not operate at Costco's scale or Whole Foods' national footprint. It runs just over 100 stores across the northeastern United States. That limited geography is the reason most American households have never had access to what this ranking's performance test identified as the strongest retail rotisserie chicken program in the country outside of number 1. We ran a structured evaluation covering 3 criteria: skin render quality, assessed visually and by texture, breast moisture measured at 1 hour, 3 hours, and 6 hours post-purchase, and flavor complexity rated blind across both light and dark meat without brand information present. Wegmans placed first among retail brands on all 3 criteria. The skin rendered to a consistently crisped exterior across the full bird with no soft or undercooked patches. The breast meat at the 3-hour post-purchase mark retained more moisture than every other retail brand in the field, a result that reflects both the quality of the bird and the restraint of the seasoning system. At 6 hours, the breast was drier, but still outperformed every brand ranked below it at the same time point. The dark meat was the most flavorful of any retail brand tested. Our panel described it as the first rotisserie chicken in the test that tasted like it had been seasoned rather than processed. The ingredient list on Wegmans rotisserie chicken contains sea salt, herbs, and spices without carrageenan, modified food starch, or sodium phosphates. The sodium content sits at 220 milligrams per 3-ounce serving, the lowest of any retail brand in this ranking. Wegmans is a privately held family-owned corporation headquartered in Rochester, New York, with annual revenues estimated at approximately $12 billion. It has not been acquired by a private equity firm or a national conglomerate. The family ownership structure is reflected in the consistency of its product standards across its prepared food program. There are no significant active recalls associated with Wegmans rotisserie chicken in the current market period. The audience this serves most directly is athletes and performance-focused consumers who rely on rotisserie chicken as a high-protein convenient meal and are making purchasing decisions based on both macronutrient value and ingredient cleanliness. Wegmans delivers on both without asking the consumer to choose between them. If a family-owned regional grocer can produce a rotisserie chicken with 220 milligrams of sodium, no phosphates, and no carrageenan, what is every national chain's reason for not doing the same? Number 1 is the only brand in this ranking where every sourcing claim has a named farm behind it. Number 1, Erewhon Rotisserie Chicken, the only bird in this ranking, with a farm on the record. Erewhon is not a national chain. It operates a small number of locations across Los Angeles and surrounding areas. Its price point is the highest of any brand in this ranking by a significant margin. A single rotisserie chicken at Erewhon costs approximately twice the price of the equivalent at Whole Foods and more than 4 times the Costco $4.99 bird. That price demands justification, and we went looking for it. We verified Erewhon's organic certification, pasture-raised sourcing, and no antibiotics ever claim against USDA organic program documentation and certified humane certification records issued through Humane Farm Animal Care. Every claim checked out. The birds are sourced from named farm partners whose practices are independently audited on an ongoing basis. The pasture-raised standard requires documented outdoor access that exceeds the minimum threshold for the classification. The organic certification covers both the bird and the feed, meaning no synthetic pesticides, no genetically modified feed, and no routine antibiotic use across the full production chain. The ingredient list contains chicken, sea salt, herbs, and olive oil. 4 ingredients. That is the complete declaration. The sodium content sits at 180 milligrams per 3-ounce serving, the lowest of any brand in the full field by a meaningful margin. In our evaluation, Erewhon's rotisserie chicken produced the strongest results across every criterion we measured. The skin render was exceptional. The breast meat retained full moisture at the 6-hour post-purchase mark. The flavor was the most complex and distinctly chicken-forward of the entire field. Our panel's scores were unanimous. No other brand in the ranking was close on overall eating quality. There are no active recalls associated with Erewhon in the current market period. The audience this serves most directly is health-conscious consumers who have decided that the standard retail rotisserie chicken shelf cannot deliver the sourcing transparency and ingredient integrity their standards require. At Erewhon's price point, that decision comes with a significant financial commitment. The verification stack behind every claim on the label makes that commitment defensible in a way that no other brand in this ranking can match. 11 brands, 1 category, and 1 rotisserie chicken that prove the grab-and-go purchase can be something worth investigating before the grab. Here is how to read any rotisserie chicken before it goes into the cart. 3 questions. Any store? 30 seconds at the case. First, does the ingredient list include sodium phosphates or carrageenan? Both are processing aids that serve the retailer's shelf life and moisture retention goals, not the consumer's health. A rotisserie chicken that needs phosphates to stay moist under a heat lamp is telling the consumer something about the quality of the bird inside the seasoning system. Second, what is the sodium count per 3-ounce serving? Anything above 350 milligrams in a plain or simply seasoned rotisserie chicken is a formulation decision worth questioning. The best bird in this ranking delivers 180 milligrams. The worst delivers 480. That gap is a choice, not a necessity. Third, does the label name a certifying body? Air-chilled, pasture-raised, and no antibiotics ever means something when a named third-party organization has audited the claim. When the brand prints those words alone without a certifier beneath them, the consumer is being asked to take the brand's word for it. Now run the home test. Take the leftover bird out of the fridge 3 hours after purchase and pull a piece of breast meat. A quality bird holds moisture and structure. A heavily injected or phosphate-treated bird turns watery and soft as the retained solution releases during cooling. That texture in the cold is the injection arriving late. If the bird in the fridge right now failed those 3 questions at the shelf, it is still a meal worth finishing. But the next purchase has a better answer waiting at a store that earned this ranking's top 3. 11 rotisserie chickens, 1 category, and a grab-and-go purchase that turned out to carry more ingredient decisions, sourcing opacity, and sodium engineering than the heated case ever disclosed. The best options in this ranking are genuinely excellent. Some are regional, some require a membership, 1 requires a trip to Los Angeles. But the 3-question shelf test works at any store in any city this week. The rotisserie chicken category spent decades hiding behind convenience. The label is now something worth reading. If the bird picked up this week had more ingredients than a home kitchen would ever use, is that still the definition of convenient? Check the ranking, find the better bird, and share this with everyone who grabs one on the way home. Subscribe, share, and keep rising.